Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. And in this video we are going to talk again about the C++. So in the previous videos we talked about the operators in C++. Alright guys, and I hope you all were clear with all those topics. Okay, so let's just have a quick recap of what all we have learned till now. We have learned data types, we have learned about the identifiers and variables and constants and all of those things we have learned. Okay, and obviously the operators, the previous video was about the operators, so we learned that also. So yeah, so this is pretty much the the syllabus or topics we have covered till now. Now today we are going to talk about this topic, which is the conditional statements. All right, conditional statements in C++. So this is the topic which we are going to talk about today. Okay guys, so let's move on to it. Conditional statements are of two types. One is the if else and another is the switch case. Alright, switch case. So these are the two types of conditional statements which we study in C++. Now you might be thinking, what is this way you have directly started about the conditional statement? First tell us what is the conditional statement. So let me tell you, see, today we will be discussing about the if else conditional statement. And what are conditional statements, what is if else, let me tell you all about them. Alright, so first of all, what are conditional statements? As the name suggests, alright, as the name suggests, they are the statements which are used whenever we have to implement some conditions. Alright, when we have to implement some conditions, in that case we'll be using the conditional statements. For example, let's talk about an example. Let's consider voting. Alright, we all vote. Alright, no, we all don't vote. Only the person who are above the age of 18 are eligible to vote. So this is a condition that if your age is greater than or equal to 18, then you are eligible to vote. So in the form of program, if I can write it like this: if age is greater than or equal to 18, you are eligible to vote. Else, in any other condition, you are not eligible. So else, not eligible. Alright, you are not eligible. So see, we have to execute a statement with a condition, and henceforth we are using this if else conditions. Alright, we'll be using this if else conditions. There is something also called as if else if, and we'll be studying about the syntax of the if else and the concepts behind them in great detail today. Alright, if else also, if else if also, all of them. Okay, so when we talk about various kinds of conditions, alright, then we need to use the if else conditions. Obviously we'll also use the switch case, but today we are talking about the if else. Alright, let's say we want to check whether a number is prime or not. So again, there is a condition. What condition? Let me tell you. See, mathematically you all know that if I talk about 12, then I'll be starting from 2 to 11 and check that it should not be divisible by any of these, including both 2 and 11. But it is divisible by 2, it is divisible by 3, it's divisible by 6. It should not have been divisible by even one of these numbers. Since it is divisible by them, therefore it is not prime. So if condition is there, alright, that if this condition follows, then it is prime, otherwise it is not prime. Alright, see, this is the use of if else only, the prime number program, but we'll be doing this program after we study the loops, alright, the iteration statements. Alright, for now we are just going to talk about the simple if else conditions. Alright, now we are going to make some programs. Alright, we are going to make two programs. One is going to be on the thing I told you about, the vote, alright, voting program, and another is going to be even or odd program, alright, to find whether a number is even or odd. And then after that I'll be telling you a lot about the if else also. So I am sure there might be some things which you don't know, so continue with us. Alright, there will be definitely some of these things which you will not be knowing till now. So let's start. Okay, alright guys, back to the programming section. alright. And we are going to create the program. As I told you, there will be two programs. One will be about whether the person is eligible to vote or not, and another is about the even or odd number. So I've already saved this program with the name of vote.cpp, and we are writing the basic syntax of the C++ programming language, which you all already know: hash include iostream using namespace standard and int main. Okay, so we have int age. Alright, this is simple. This is a variable declaration, nothing else. Now pay attention, guys. What are we doing is we are asking the user to enter his age, and we'll read the age, we'll input the age, and if that age will be greater than equal to 18, he'll be eligible to vote. Otherwise he or she will not be eligible to vote. It's that simple. So how are we going to write now the if else thing? Alright, see, these things you all know: the age, and this semicolon is a termination, and this is cin, and this iostream. Alright, you know about streams. Okay, you know the difference between a stream and a file. I told you that a file is just a fixed data and stream is the flow of data, so you all know about this. Now let's come to if else. Okay, so see, this is a syntax. If within the round brackets I'm going to write the condition age is greater than equal to 18. If age is greater than or equal to 18, then print. What do we need to print? Cout. Print that you are eligible to vote. Alright, I'll print that you are eligible to vote. It's that simple. Okay, and else, alright, you are not eligible to vote. You are not eligible to vote. So guys, it is that simple. Okay, this is a use of if else is quite a simple thing. We all know about it. And in the end I'll write obviously return 0, and then I'll just go to build this program. Firstly I'll build it, and oh, it's taking some time in the building process. Wait, now it has been builded. Okay, so yeah, now let's just run this program and enter your age. It is asking me to enter my age, and I enter 23. So it says you are eligible to vote. Alright, and let's run this program again, and this time I enter my age to be 18, and it says you are eligible to vote because it was greater than or equal to 18, which I used in the condition. And enter your age, I enter 12, then you are not eligible to vote again. And remember guys, in the if thing we are using that relational operator, greater than equal to. Alright, so now we have moved to the next program, even or odd.cpp. This is the name which I have given to this program, and I have written the basic thing. Alright, now let's just write the syntax. If num, the number which the user will enter, modulo division 2 equal to 0. Now what is this? What is this which we are doing? See, any number, if you divide it by 2 and it leaves the remainder 0, it means that the number is completely divisible by 2. And any number which is completely divisible by 2 actually is the even number. Alright, so this is what we are checking for here. I told you we'll be using different kinds of operators in if else, and this is one of them. Equal to, you remember double equal to was the assignment operator. I told you about that in I don't know, in the unary operator video or the operators video only. I don't remember it, but yeah, I have told you this thing. Okay, so yeah, now see, what am I going to do is I'm going to put a bracket here. Now this is the thing which you might be wondering, why am I putting this bracket here? Alright, why have I not put the bracket in this program? So let's say what happens if I put these brackets. Alright, see, I am putting these brackets. I have to put them both after if and else. Alright, like the program thing we do, opening and closing of program. Now this brackets represent the opening and closing of the if and else conditions. Okay, yeah. So I just simply write these brackets, and within these brackets I have written my statements. And now if I build the program, So you can clearly see guys, there is no error in this program. So what does it signifies? Okay, what does it signifies? It signifies that I can either write these brackets, put these brackets, or I can not. It's completely my choice. If I run this program, it runs completely well. Alright, it is the same way. It is running the same way. So is it correct for everything that I can either put the brackets or not? Is it completely my choice? See, it's not completely your choice. Whenever there is only a single statement after the if and after the else, alright, you can see there are only single statements after the if and after the else, then you can write the brackets. Alright, then it is your choice basically. Then you can write the brackets as well as you can leave the brackets. But whenever there are multiple statements, like I am writing the second statement here, now if you will not write the brackets, then this is not going to be correct. Alright, this is not going to be correct. Okay, so like for example, I am writing this get ready with your documents. Alright, I have just written one next line of code after if. Now what happens if I compile this program, basically build this program? Oh, I'm sorry, I just ran it. I first have to build it. Okay, so let's build this program first, and probably you can see an error. Alright, and now let's first analyze what this error is. You double click on this and you will get it. So else without a previous if, this is the error which is showing. So what is happening exactly guys is the thing that you need to put the brackets. If you will not put the brackets, then what will happen is in the code block IDE it will show an error. See, now this thing also depends from IDE to IDE. In some other IDE what will happen is that, let me tell you, it will not show any error, but the last statement will be executed. What do I mean by that? See, under the if, what is the last statement? This get ready with your documents. Alright, see, this is the thing I'm saying. It will run, but only this last statement will be executed under some IDEs. In some IDEs like Visual Studio Code or Sublime, I guess, I'm not sure about them, but I have heard that in these IDEs what happens is that the last statement will be executed. Even in the Turbo C++, what will happen is that the last statement will be executed. I'm sure about Turbo. This happens in Turbo C++. The last statement only gets executed and the previous statement will not be executed. Okay guys, so I practically showed you the implementation that whether you need to write the bracket or you don't need to write the bracket. But in code blocks, when there are multiple statements, then it is essential for you to write the brackets, otherwise the program will show an error, and that's for sure. Alright, so code blocks will show an error if there are multiple lines of code and you have not put any brackets. Alright, so code blocks will definitely show an error. Alright guys, so this is pretty much of the thing. I guess this was the main thing about the syntax. Now let's move on to the program which we were doing. Alright, we were doing the even odd program. Okay, see, firstly I'll just once run this program again to ensure that when you are writing two statements within the bracket, both of them are getting executed. You can see I just ran it because I wanted to show you that the thing works completely fine with these brackets. Okay, so this was the thing which I wanted to show you by running this program. Okay guys, so I guess now you are pretty much clear with this. Now let's move on to this program which we were constructing. It was the even odd. So if the number modulo division 2 equals 0, then we'll print even number. Alright, what will we do? We'll simply print the number is even number, or the entered number is an even number. Okay, sorry guys. And if this happens, then the entered number is an even number. Else what will happen is that the entered number will be an odd number, obviously. So we'll print that too. Else else the entered number or the number is an odd number simply. All right, yeah. So guys, again it's your choice, because here only one statement is after the if and else both. So it completely depends on you whether you want to write within these brackets or not. I usually prefer to write everything within the brackets because it just makes the program neat according to me. So now enter any number. I enter 45 and it shows me an even number. Let's try to enter 8. So yeah, it's an odd even number. All right, yeah. I'm sorry guys, 45 was an odd number. I'm sorry. So yeah, this is okay guys. So just now we saw two programs. All right, we saw the voting program and we saw the even odd program. Basically we saw the implementation of the if else, okay, by these two programs. Now moving further with this topic, we have something called as if else if. Okay, what does this mean? That if else continues. Okay, there are multiple conditions. Then what are we going to do? There are not only two conditions, there are multiple conditions. Then how are we going to use the if else? So yeah, I taught various conditions. Okay, so how are we going to use it? How are we going to use if else on various conditions, on multiple conditions? All right, and I am going to also show you that how the sequence matters in this thing in the program only. For now, what am I going to show you is a very simple thing. What am I going to tell you? So this program which we made on even odd numbers, all right, we just classified a number as an even number or an odd number. Okay, we didn't talk about zero. Zero number, this zero is neither even nor odd. Why? See, we put the condition num modulo division 2 equals 0. But zero modulo division any number is 0 always. Alright. So obviously the 0 modulo division 2 is going to be 0. Okay. 0 modulo division 2 is going to be 0. Okay. So this is an obvious thing. Okay. Yeah, obviously we are not talking about 0 by 0 etc. mathematically exceptional conditions. We are talking about normal conditions. At 0 modulo division any number is going to be 0. Okay, yeah. So now if I talk about 0, then I clearly know that it is neither even nor odd. Alright, neither even nor odd. Now we just took two conditions, either even or odd, but we have to also take the condition that 0 is neither even nor odd. So how are we going to print it? Alright, so here is the case of if else if else. Alright, if else if, or if else if else, whatever you say it. Now we are going to see how this thing is going to be implemented. How are we going to implement this thing? So just giving you a basic idea, it's going to be something like this, like if the condition, then else if the condition, and then else the final condition. All right, so now let's move on to the program, and I'll make the changes in the program we have already created for the even and odd number. I'm not going to write the complete program. All right, yeah. So some of you might have studied the C language. All right, some of you who are watching my video, and you might know about these conditional statements. Then I am sure that I am giving you a slight probability that you will know something new in the upcoming program. All right, okay guys, so I told you that we are going to see something new in this program. For those also who have learned the C language, they might probably know this, but most of them I basically have seen that don't know about the sequence which is also mattering in this if else condition. Alright, so see what I do in this program. I'm making the change like else if. I'm making this condition as else if. I'm writing here 0 is neither even nor odd. Alright, but see what is the sequence. I have written in the first case that num modulo division 2 equal to 0. The second case I'm giving is num equal to 0, and the third case is else, obviously for the odd number. Alright, so what is the sequence? Firstly, I'm checking for the even number, then I'm checking whether it is 0 or not, and then I'm checking that whether this number is odd or not. Now what am I going to do is I'm going to build and run this program, and let's see what it gives the output for 0. Alright, what output it is for 0. We run this and I enter 0, and you can see the entered number is an even number. Okay guys, so this is the thing which I was talking about. See, you have entered first, you have checked the condition of even number, alright, and obviously 0 modulo division 2 equals 0. So if this condition is fulfilled, then it will definitely not move to the other two conditions. So it is not going to print that 0 is neither even nor odd. So what is the correct way of doing this? The correct way of doing this is that first of all you check that whether the entered number is 0 or not. This is the first priority. Then if it is 0, you will print that 0 is neither even nor odd. Then you will move on checking that whether the number is even number or odd number. Okay, so guys, this is what now I am doing. I have changed the sequence of the statements, alright, and you will see the output will also get changed. So this is what I'm talking about. The sequence matters a lot in the if else. Okay, you have to pay an attention towards what you are doing. Now let's build this program and run it. Now enter any number. I enter 0 and I get the output as 0 is neither even nor odd. You can clearly see this, guys. Okay, so this was pretty much about this video, guys. In this video we talked entirely about the if else conditional statement. I hope you liked the video, and next video will be